Every change you want in your life begins with the way you train your mind. Weak habits do not disappear on their own. They grow stronger when you ignore them, and weaker when you shine a light on them with honest thinking and disciplined action. When you educate your mind, you learn to understand your patterns, question your choices, and guide yourself with clarity instead of impulse. This gives you the power to break habits that hold you back and replace them with habits that push you forward. This message is for anyone who feels stuck in the same routines, tired of repeating the same mistakes, or frustrated by the gap between what they want and what they actually do. You might feel the weight of wasted time or the regret of missed chances. You might feel the pressure of wanting more but not knowing how to begin. That feeling is real, and you are not alone. But the moment you decide to train your mind with purpose, everything begins to shift. You start noticing your choices more clearly. You gain the strength to say no to impulses that weaken you. You build the ability to stay focused even when life tests your patience. In this video, you will learn how to educate your mind so deeply that weak habits no longer run your life. You will learn how to make stronger decisions, how to build discipline that lasts, and how to create a version of yourself that stays consistent even when motivation fades. As you listen, you will feel more aware of your daily patterns and more confident in your ability to break them. You will understand how small improvements lead to big changes. And most importantly, you will realize how much power you already have waiting inside you, ready to be used. Stay with me, because once you understand how to train your mind the right way, you will never look at your habits the same again. This could be the moment where your entire life begins to rise. Chapter 1. Build one skill that produces steady income every day. Every person who desires lasting income and a stable future must begin with one simple truth. A steady life is built on a steady skill. The world does not reward wishes, it rewards the people who decide to build something inside themselves that pays them back again and again. Income that arrives consistently does not appear from luck or chance. It grows from the habit of strengthening one skill until it becomes reliable. When a person makes that decision, life begins to open in new ways. Opportunities that once passed by unnoticed suddenly become visible. Confidence that once felt shaky begins to rise. Daily life gains structure because there is something meaningful to work on each day. This is the starting point of all lasting income. It is not a trick or a shortcut. It is the quiet discipline of building one skill that becomes so strong it can support you no matter what happens around you. The world often makes people believe that success requires dozens of talents, endless hustle, or a complicated plan. But the truth has always been the opposite. People who build stable income usually begin with one skill they commit to every day. They become strong in one area before they try to spread themselves thin in many. This focus creates momentum. When you concentrate on one skill long enough, it stops being something you practice and becomes something you own. It becomes part of how you think, how you act, and how you earn. It becomes a foundation that protects you during unpredictable times and lifts you during opportunities. That is why building one steady skill is the first step to income that arrives daily. Many people struggle financially not because they lack potential, but because they jump from one idea to another without mastering any. They try one thing today, another tomorrow, and another next week. They never stay long enough to grow results. But a skill grows the same way a muscle grows. It strengthens with consistent use. When you decide to give one skill your full commitment, you give it the chance to develop into something powerful. You begin to rise from confusion into clarity. You stop living in reaction and start living with purpose. Each day becomes a brick in a foundation that can support your future. A steady skill is not always glamorous. It may not impress anyone in the beginning, But the value of a skill comes from what it produces over time. The world pays for value. It pays for reliability. It pays for the person who shows up again and again with something useful to offer. If you build one skill that solves a problem or creates value, you put yourself in a position where income becomes a natural result of your discipline. This is the kind of income that brings peace, because it is not dependent on luck or on the decisions of other people. It is built by your own hands, inside your own mind. It is built through practice, patience, and daily commitment. To build such a skill, you must begin by choosing an area that matters. It could be communication, writing, teaching, selling, analyzing, repairing, designing, or producing something meaningful. The specific skill does not matter as much as your commitment to strengthening it every day. When you choose a skill, the first step is to understand why it matters. A strong why makes the practice easier. Ask yourself what this skill will give you in the long run. Ask yourself how it will support you during difficult times. Ask yourself how it will create freedom over the years. When you connect a skill to your future, your motivation deepens. You begin to show up not because someone forces you, but because you understand the value it will bring. After choosing the skill, you must define your starting point with honesty. Many people never improve because they avoid the truth about where they stand. They pretend they are already better than they are, or they avoid measuring their progress. But progress begins with clarity. If you know where you are, you can plan where to go. If you ignore your starting point, you wander without direction. Honesty is not a weakness. It is the foundation of improvement. When you acknowledge your current ability without fear or shame, growth becomes possible. Building one skill requires consistency more than intensity. You do not need to practice for hours on the first day. You simply need to practice every day. A skill improves through small daily efforts that compound into strength. This is where most people struggle. They want fast results. They want to jump from beginner to expert in one leap, but mastery comes from slow, steady progress. When you show up every day and work on your craft, the improvement becomes undeniable. Even 10 minutes of focused practice can change your skill in 1 year. Imagine what 1 hour a day can do. Imagine what 2 hours can do. By staying consistent, you rise above most people who give up after the first difficulty. You separate yourself from the crowd through discipline. That discipline is what produces income that continues even when life becomes challenging. A steady skill becomes income when you learn to turn it into service. A skill without application is potential energy. A skill put to use becomes power. To create steady income, you must ask how your skill can help others. Income always comes from serving. When you solve a problem, provide comfort, save time, increase efficiency, or create something valuable, you become useful. Usefulness is the source of income. When you build one skill deeply, you become reliable in that area. People trust reliability. They return to reliability. They pay for reliability. And that is how your skill begins to provide daily income. The next step is to build confidence in your ability to deliver value. Many people have skills but lack the confidence to use them. They hesitate to charge money. They hesitate to put themselves out into the world. They fear judgment, and that fear blocks their earning potential. Confidence grows from competence. When you practice your skill daily, your confidence rises naturally. You do not need to force it. When you know you have practiced, improved, and tested your abilities, you trust yourself. That trust frees you to offer your skill without fear. It frees you to charge what your time and value are worth. Confidence turns potential income into real income. Income becomes steady when your skill becomes dependable. Reliability is a form of character. It is the promise you make to yourself to show up even when you are tired, distracted, or discouraged. The world rewards the person who can deliver results consistently, not occasionally. When you build a skill with reliability, you become someone others can count on. Employers notice it, clients notice it, opportunities notice it, people talk about it. This reputation becomes part of your income stream because it follows you wherever you go. Reliability is a currency that becomes more valuable with time. Once your skill begins to generate income, your next step is to strengthen it further. Income that never stops requires constant growth. The world changes, industries shift, and new methods appear. If you stop improving, your skill becomes outdated. But if you stay committed to learning, your skill becomes timeless. Each year you add new knowledge, new tools, and new techniques that make your skill more powerful and more valuable. This mindset separates those who earn occasionally from those who earn continuously. Improvement is the engine of steady income. As long as you keep improving, your income has room to grow. A powerful way to deepen your skill is to study those who excel in the same area. Every skill has masters. These individuals have spent years refining their craft. When you study them, you compress your learning. You avoid mistakes they already solved. You gain insights that others never notice. This does not mean copying them. It means learning from their wisdom so you can build your own level of mastery. When you combine daily practice with the wisdom of people who have succeeded, your progress accelerates. Your skill sharpens faster. Your results grow sooner. This is how steady income begins to form in a shorter amount of time. To build a skill that produces income every day, you must connect it to your character. A skill without strong character becomes unstable. If you want your income to last, you must work on discipline, patience, resilience, and personal responsibility. These qualities protect your skill during difficult times. They help you remain committed when life becomes stressful. They help you stay focused when distractions appear. Character strengthens your skill in ways that technique alone cannot. When your character and your skill grow together, you become unstoppable. You become someone the world values and respects. Another essential part of building a steady skill is learning to measure your progress. Progress creates motivation. When you track your practice, your improvements, your results, and your earnings, you gain a clear picture of your growth. You begin to see patterns. You understand what is working and what needs improvement. Without tracking, improvement becomes uncertain and slow. With tracking, you can adjust, refine, and evolve. This makes your skill stronger each month and each year. Strong skills create strong income. Tracking helps your income remain steady because it gives you clarity over your future. As your skill grows, opportunities will begin to appear. Some opportunities will be small, others will be significant. Your job is to evaluate them carefully. Not every opportunity is worth your time. The goal is not to chase everything. The goal is to choose the opportunities that align with your skill and support your long-term income. Small opportunities can help you gain experience. Bigger opportunities can expand your earning potential, but each one must be chosen with purpose. When you make decisions with clarity, your income becomes more stable and predictable. You avoid distractions that waste your time. You focus on activities that strengthen your financial future. There will be days when practice feels difficult, days when progress feels slow, days when doubt tries to weaken your drive. On these days, you must remember that every skill takes time to grow. Patience is a form of strength. When you stay committed even during slow progress, you prove to yourself that you are serious about your future. Every strong person you admire has walked through periods of slow progress without giving up. If you keep going, you earn a future where your skill takes care of you. This is the reward of discipline. When others quit, you stay. When others complain, you focus. When others look for excuses, you look for solutions. This is how income that never stops is built. As time passes, your skill will begin to create opportunities that feel natural. People will seek your help. Your name will carry weight. Your results will speak for you. You will no longer need to explain your value because your work will already prove it. This is the point where your income becomes steady and predictable. You will reach a place where your skill produces results, even on days when you are not actively working. You will reach a place where your reputation continues working even while you rest. This is the beginning of financial stability. This is the reward for building one strong skill and giving it the attention it deserves. Once your skill becomes reliable, the next stage is to expand it. You can create digital products, offer consulting, teach others, or automate parts of your work. These expansions can turn your skill into multiple streams of income. But the foundation is always the same. Without mastery of one core skill, expansion becomes unstable. Mastery gives you security. Expansion gives you growth. When these two work together, your income begins to support you every day without interruption. As you reach higher levels of skill, you also become a leader. People will look to you for guidance. They will ask for advice. They will model your habits. At this stage, you begin to influence others in ways you may not realize. This influence is powerful. It strengthens your character and deepens your purpose. When your skill helps others grow, it becomes more than a tool for income. It becomes a part of your identity. It becomes something meaningful that improves not just your life, but the lives of others. This creates a sense of fulfillment that money alone cannot provide. Purpose strengthens your discipline. Discipline strengthens your income. This is how a skill becomes a lifelong asset. The most important part of building a skill is staying committed even when you reach success. Many people lose their progress because they become comfortable too soon. The moment you stop improving, your skill stops growing. The world is always moving. The marketplace changes. Needs change. Industries evolve. Your skill must evolve with them. Improvement is not something you do for a few years. It is something you continue for life. This mindset ensures that your income remains steady no matter what happens around you. As long as you improve, you remain valuable. As long as you remain valuable, your income continues. A skill that produces daily income becomes a form of stability during uncertain times. If you lose a job, your skill brings new work. If an industry declines, your skill helps you transition. If life becomes challenging, your skill remains with you. This is the power of building something internal rather than relying on external circumstances. Circumstances change. Skills stay. When you build a strong skill, you carry your income potential everywhere you go. You become adaptable because you have something solid within yourself. This inner strength is what gives you freedom. Income that arrives every day gives you peace. It reduces stress. It provides room to think, plan, and grow. It allows you to take care of your family. It helps you handle emergencies. It gives you the ability to invest, save, and build a future. This peace is not just about money. It is about control over your life. It is about knowing that you have a foundation that cannot be taken from you. This is the peace that comes from mastery. This is the reward for building one strong skill. When you build a skill that produces steady income, you also build a stronger version of yourself. You develop discipline, patience, focus, and self-respect. These qualities improve every part of your life. You become someone who can handle challenges without breaking. Someone who can set goals and achieve them. Someone who can lead others. Someone who builds a future with intention instead of waiting for things to happen. Your skill becomes a mirror of the person you are becoming. As your skill grows, you grow. Every day you practice, your skill, you shape your future. Every hour you improve, you increase your value. Every challenge you overcome, you strengthen your character. This is how steady income is built, not through shortcuts or secrets, but through daily commitment to one meaningful skill. You may not feel dramatic changes at first. Growth often begins quietly, but if you continue each day, you will reach a moment when you realize that your skill has become a source of strength, a source of income, a source of confidence, a source of freedom. This is the moment when you understand why the journey was worth it. When you reach that point, you will be grateful for every hour you invested. You will be grateful for every moment of patience. You will be grateful for every challenge that made you stronger. You will look back and see how far you have come, and you will realize that the decision to build one skill was one of the most powerful decisions of your life. This is the beginning of income that never stops. This is the foundation of financial security. This is the reward of disciplined effort. Your skill becomes a gift that keeps paying you, supporting you, and expanding your future. And it all begins with one choice. Build one skill that produces steady income every day. Strengthen it, practice it, use it, improve it, protect it, grow it. When you do this, your life changes in ways you cannot yet imagine. The strength you build will carry you through every season of your journey, giving you stability, purpose, and the ability to rise far beyond your past. This is how lasting income is built. This is how strong character is formed. This is how a meaningful life begins. Chapter 2. Create simple systems that grow income without stopping. A system is the structure that keeps your income moving, even when your energy rises and falls throughout the week. It is the quiet framework behind consistent results, and it removes the pressure of relying on willpower alone. When you build simple systems, you give your future a dependable backbone that carries your progress forward without demanding constant effort or emotional strength. Many people work hard, yet their income stays unstable because everything depends on how they feel that day. A system changes that. A system turns effort into a repeatable process. It takes what works and makes it automatic. It allows income to grow because there is a clear path for actions, decisions, and improvements. The goal is not to complicate life with complicated plans. The goal is to create small, repeatable steps that keep generating results with as little friction as possible. A simple system has three qualities. It saves time, it protects focus, and it produces a predictable outcome. When these qualities work together, income becomes a natural byproduct. You start feeling more organized, more intentional, and more in control of your days. Instead of waking up not knowing what to do next, you wake up with clarity. There is a plan already waiting for you. That plan removes uncertainty, and uncertainty is often what stops people from improving. When you know exactly what to do to move your income forward, you begin to use your hours more efficiently. You stop losing time on unimportant actions, and you start building momentum through consistency. Every system begins with awareness. You must understand what activities actually create income and which activities only feel productive while producing nothing. Many people confuse busyness with progress. They spend hours on tasks that look important but do not contribute to growth. When you study your actions, you realize that only a few tasks truly matter. Those tasks must become the center of your system. If you focus your energy on activities that directly increase your income, your results grow faster and with more stability. A system keeps you from drifting toward distractions. It brings everything back to what truly matters, to create systems that grow income. Start by defining the most important actions that generate progress in your chosen field. If you are a freelancer, it might be sending proposals, improving your craft, or building relationships. If you are in sales, it might be follow-ups, outreach, and product knowledge. If you are creating digital products, it might be content development, marketing, and customer engagement. Every field has its core actions. Once you identify them, you can begin building a clear routine around them. These actions must become non-negotiable parts of your day. A system is nothing more than a set of actions that happen at the same time, in the same order, until they become automatic. The next step is to remove unnecessary thinking from your daily process. Decision fatigue is one of the biggest obstacles to success. When every day requires new decisions about what to work on, when to work on it, and how to approach it, your energy drains quickly. A system eliminates that drain. It provides a predefined structure. You know what time you begin, what tasks come first, and how long each task lasts. This organization creates mental clarity. When your mind is clear, you work with more power and fewer mistakes. When your system becomes natural, it frees your mind to focus on creative thinking rather than basic planning. A strong system also includes a method for tracking progress. Income grows when you understand what is working and what needs adjustment. Tracking helps you identify patterns. You see which actions bring results and which actions waste time. You gain insight into your strengths and weaknesses. Without tracking, you may continue doing something that produces little value. With tracking, you adjust quickly and sharpen your system. Tracking does not need to be complicated. A simple record of daily work and results is enough to reveal trends. When you measure your progress, you take control of your future. Another key part of creating income systems is removing friction. Friction is anything that slows you down or creates resistance. It may come from your environment, your tools, or your habits. When friction exists, your system becomes harder to maintain. Reducing friction means organizing your workspace, preparing your tools in advance, and simplifying your routines. When your environment supports your system instead of disrupting it, consistency becomes easier. A clear desk, a prepared work plan, and easy access to everything you need allow you to begin working without hesitation. Each layer of reduced friction increases your efficiency and strengthens your system. A powerful system also includes a process for improvement. You cannot rely on the same methods forever. Income grows when your systems evolve. This evolution does not require dramatic changes. It happens through small enhancements. One adjustment might save you 10 minutes every day. Another adjustment might double your productivity. Over time, these improvements compound. A system that improves by 1% every week becomes a completely different force by the end of the year. Improvement is not about perfection. It is about refinement. Each small update sharpens your process and increases your income potential. People often believe systems are restrictive, but the opposite is true. Systems create freedom. When your actions become organized and predictable, you gain time for creativity, rest, and long-term planning. You know what needs to be done, and you execute it without stress. This discipline becomes a source of confidence. You stop worrying about falling behind because your system ensures daily progress. This consistency, even in small doses, builds a foundation that protects your income. The more organized your system, the stronger your financial stability becomes. A simple system also helps you avoid emotional swings. Many people base their actions on how they feel. When motivation drops, their work slows down. When stress rises, their progress stops. A system removes emotion from the process. You follow the structure even when motivation is low. This keeps your income growing because your actions no longer depend on unstable feelings. A system is a form of emotional discipline. It teaches you to act based on commitment rather than mood. This discipline is one of the strongest forms of personal power you can develop. When building a system for income growth, you must also think about sustainability. A system should support your life rather than drain your energy. If your system is too intense, you will eventually burn out. If it is too weak, you will not see results. A sustainable system feels balanced. It challenges you without overwhelming you. It creates pressure without harming your health. It allows you to rest when needed while keeping progress steady. Sustainability ensures that your income grows for years rather than months. The goal is long-term stability, not short bursts of productivity. Another important aspect of creating systems is learning to automate tasks when possible. Automation does not mean using complicated technology. It means removing manual effort from repetitive actions. This might be setting reminders, using templates, organizing files, or scheduling work in advance. Automation frees your mind and time. When you automate routine tasks, you gain space to focus on the activities that produce the most income. Small automations may seem insignificant at first, but over time they save hours and reduce stress. This allows your systems to function smoothly regardless of busyness or distractions. A system becomes even stronger when you include time for reflection. Reflection gives you clarity about your direction. It helps you see if your actions align with your goals. It reveals whether your system needs adjustments. Without reflection, you may continue working hard in the wrong direction. With reflection, you stay aligned with growth. Reflection does not require long sessions. A few minutes of honest evaluation at the end of the day can strengthen your direction. The stronger your direction, the more predictable your income becomes. As your system becomes consistent, you gain confidence in your ability to produce results. Confidence is important because it affects your decisions. When you trust your system, you make bolder moves. You take opportunities with less fear. You handle challenges with more stability. Confidence builds through evidence, not positive thinking. The evidence comes from the consistency of your system. Every day you follow your structure, you create a small victory. These victories accumulate. They show you that your effort works. This belief fuels your commitment and drives your income upward. A simple system also makes it easier to handle setbacks. When something goes wrong, you do not lose your entire structure. You simply pick up where you left off. Because your system is simple, restarting is easy. You do not feel overwhelmed by complex tasks. You return to the routine with clarity. This ability to restart quickly is crucial for income stability. Everyone faces setbacks. The difference between those who continue earning and those who fall behind is the speed of recovery. A system makes recovery almost automatic. When you build systems that support your income, you also build a stronger relationship with discipline. Discipline becomes less painful because it is supported by structure. Instead of forcing yourself to work, the system guides you naturally. It becomes a part of your identity. You become the person who follows through. You become the person who organizes their life with purpose. This identity is what creates long-term success. Systems create habits. Habits create identity. Identity creates stability. Stability creates income. This chain of growth begins with simple systems. The most powerful systems often look small from the outside. They are not dramatic or complicated. They are steady, thoughtful, and intentional. They allow you to focus on results rather than noise. Over time, these small systems build a strong foundation. They turn daily actions into continuous income. They give you peace because you know that progress is happening even on quiet days. Systems give your work a rhythm. They give your future direction. They allow you to build income that grows without stopping. Every person has the ability to create systems that support their growth. It does not matter where your life began. It does not matter what challenges you face. A simple system can fit into any life because it is built one step at a time. Each day you follow your structure, you sharpen your skills. Each day you follow your structure, you strengthen your habits. Each day you follow your structure, you move closer to the financial stability you want. A system is not about perfection, it is about consistency. It is about building something reliable that continues working even when life becomes busy. When you commit to simple systems, you take control of your future in a way that few people do. You rise above chaos and uncertainty. You gain clarity in a world full of distractions. You become someone who creates progress rather than waits for progress. This shift in mindset changes your income, your confidence, and your entire life. You begin to trust yourself because you see that your actions produce results. You begin to build a future with intention rather than chance. This is the power of simple systems. When your systems become strong, your income begins to flow with a rhythm that feels natural. You no longer rely on bursts of motivation. You rely on structure. You rely on discipline. You rely on clarity. This foundation gives you peace in uncertain times and strength in busy times. It allows your income to grow steadily without long breaks or unpredictable gaps. It becomes a part of your lifestyle. It becomes a source of confidence. It becomes a tool that supports your future. This is how income grows without stopping. Through systems that simplify your actions, reduce friction, increase focus, and sharpen your results. When your systems become part of your daily life, your progress becomes inevitable, your income becomes predictable, your future becomes stable, and your confidence becomes unshakable. Chapter 3. Develop daily habits that strengthen lifelong earning power. Earning power grows from the small actions you choose to repeat every day, not from the occasional burst of motivation. Daily habits shape the direction of your life by influencing your mindset, your decisions, and your level of discipline. When you build the right habits, your income has a solid base to grow from because your actions become consistent rather than dependent on emotion. Many people want stronger earning potential, yet they rely only on temporary efforts. They work hard for a few days and then stop when life becomes stressful. But lifelong earning power is built through patterns that remain steady through every season. Habits create that steadiness. Habits eliminate uncertainty. Habits turn effort into predictable strength. When you decide to develop habits that support your income, you begin to live in a way that makes growth natural. Every habit begins with awareness. You must understand how your daily actions influence your future. Some habits drain energy and block progress, while others build discipline and sharpen your mind. When you observe your routine honestly, you can recognize what strengthens your earning potential and what weakens it. Awareness allows you to make conscious adjustments instead of repeating old patterns without thinking. This level of self-observation is essential because your habits become automatic over time. If you do not choose the right habits, unhelpful habits will choose you. You cannot rely on luck to improve your income. You must create routines that align with the life you want. One of the most important habits is starting your day with intention. When you begin your morning with clarity, the rest of the day becomes easier to manage. A clear morning reduces stress, increases focus, and helps you prioritize what truly matters. When you start your day with purpose, you stop drifting. You know why you are working, and that mindset strengthens every action that follows. You do not need a complicated morning routine. You simply need a routine that grounds your mind, helps you stay organized, and prepares you for productive work. This small shift increases your earning power because it eliminates wasted time and strengthens your discipline. Another valuable habit is dedicating time each day to learning. The world changes quickly, and your earning potential grows when you improve your knowledge regularly. Learning keeps your mind sharp. It helps you adapt to new opportunities. It prevents you from becoming outdated in your field. Even 15 minutes of focused learning each day can transform your skill level over time. When you learn consistently, you become more confident, more capable, and more valuable. Earning power increases when your knowledge grows, because knowledge allows you to make better decisions, solve problems faster, and offer more value than before. This habit of learning compounds over the years and becomes one of the strongest foundations for lifelong income. A habit that strongly influences earning power is maintaining order in your physical and digital spaces. Clutter creates distraction. Distraction weakens focus. When your environment is chaotic, your mind becomes scattered. You waste time searching for tools, thinking about unrelated tasks, or navigating disorganization. A clean space creates mental clarity. It gives you control over your surroundings. It helps you enter a productive state quickly. When your environment supports your goals, your earning potential rises because you can concentrate deeply and work efficiently. Order is a habit that strengthens your performance in every area. Daily planning is another habit that expands earning power. When you plan your day, you decide how your time will be used instead of reacting to whatever appears. Planning prevents wasted hours. It guides you toward purposeful actions. It helps you focus on the activities that directly contribute to your financial future. This habit also reduces stress because you know what needs to be done and when you will do it. A plan gives your day structure, and structure improves your ability to complete important tasks. Over time, daily planning helps you accomplish more with less effort, and that increased productivity becomes additional earning power. Healthy habits also play a role. Your energy level influences your ability to work, think clearly, and stay disciplined. When you take care of your health by eating well, resting enough, and staying active, your performance improves. Your mind becomes sharper. Your mood becomes more stable. Your ability to handle challenges increases. Strong health supports strong earning potential because you can maintain a steady pace without burning out. Every decision you make about your health either strengthens or weakens your long-term success. When your body and mind work together, you can produce consistent results that lead to financial growth. Another habit that increases earning power is practicing self-control in small situations. Self-control is a skill that grows through repetition. When you resist small distractions, you train your mind to stay focused. When you avoid impulsive decisions, you strengthen your ability to make thoughtful choices. This discipline becomes extremely valuable when you face major decisions about your income or career. People who lack self-control often create self-made obstacles. They waste time, lose focus, and delay progress. By practicing self-control daily, you build a mental strength that protects your goals and supports your advancement. Developing the habit of reviewing your progress each day is also important. Reflection helps you recognize what went well and what needs improvement. When you assess your performance regularly, you avoid repeating unhelpful patterns. You notice opportunities for growth. You begin to understand yourself better. This self-knowledge is powerful because it helps you adjust your routine quickly. Reflection is not about judgment, it is about clarity. The more clarity you have, the stronger your earning potential becomes. When you know which actions create results, you can do more of them. When you know which actions waste time, you can eliminate them. This habit keeps your progress moving forward. Another habit that influences lifelong earning power is staying consistent with your goals, even when progress feels slow. Many people give up because they expect quick results. But true growth happens through steady effort. Consistency is not exciting, but it is effective. When you Show up every day. You build momentum. When you remain committed during difficult moments, you build resilience. This resilience becomes one of the greatest assets for your earning potential. People who stay consistent eventually outperform those who rely on bursts of short-term effort. Consistency creates trust in yourself. It shows that you can rely on your own discipline. That trust strengthens your confidence and allows you to aim for bigger goals without hesitation. Another powerful habit is practicing honest communication. Clear communication improves relationships, opens opportunities, and builds trust. Whether you are dealing with clients, employers, partners, or colleagues, communication shapes how others see you. When you speak with honesty, clarity, and respect, you become someone others want to work with. This habit strengthens your earning potential because financial opportunities often come through relationships. People recommend individuals they trust. They invest in individuals who communicate well. They collaborate with individuals who demonstrate integrity. Communication is more than words. It is a reflection of your character. When you improve this habit, you increase your value in any environment. A vital habit for lifelong earning power is managing your attention with intention. Your attention determines your results. If you allow trivial distractions to dominate your time, your progress slows. But when you train yourself to protect your focus, you become more productive in less time. Attention is a limited resource. Once it is used, it cannot be regained. When you develop the habit of prioritizing meaningful work, your earning potential increases because you accomplish tasks more quickly and at a higher level of quality. Managing your attention is one of the most powerful daily habits you can build. Another habit that strengthens earning power is approaching challenges with a growth mindset. Every obstacle is an opportunity to learn something new. When you respond to difficulty with curiosity instead of frustration, you increase your ability to adapt and grow. A growth mindset encourages you to push past your comfort zone, which is where new skills and new income opportunities exist. This mindset becomes stronger through repetition. Each time you handle a challenge constructively, you reinforce this habit. Over time, it becomes your natural response. This reaction makes you more resilient and more capable, which directly increases your earning potential. A habit that many people overlook is keeping your promises to yourself. Each time you do what you said you would do, you strengthen your self-respect. Self-respect fuels discipline. When you trust yourself, you work with more confidence. When you follow through, you build a solid identity. This identity gives you the inner strength to pursue bigger goals. People with strong self-respect are more reliable, more decisive, and more committed. These qualities increase earning potential because they help you achieve results consistently. When you keep your promises, you build inner stability, and that stability translates into income growth. Another habit that supports lifelong earning power is regularly stepping outside your comfort zone. Growth requires discomfort. When you challenge yourself with new experiences, you expand your abilities. You learn skills you did not have before. You gain confidence from each breakthrough. Daily, small acts of discomfort build the courage required to pursue larger opportunities. Whether it is speaking up, learning a new tool, or taking on a new task, discomfort becomes a signal of growth. People who embrace this habit grow faster than those who avoid challenges. This constant growth becomes a long-term advantage in any field. Daily gratitude also strengthens earning power in a subtle but powerful way. Gratitude stabilizes your emotions. It reduces stress and increases clarity. When you begin your day with appreciation, your mind becomes more open and balanced. This state of mind helps you make better decisions throughout the day. It also keeps you grounded and focused instead of overwhelmed. Gratitude is not just a positive feeling, it is a mental practice that strengthens your emotional balance. A balanced mind creates stronger earning potential by improving decision-making, communication, and resilience. The habit of finishing what you start is another essential part of increasing earning potential. Many people begin tasks with enthusiasm but fail to complete them. This pattern weakens discipline and creates unfinished projects that produce no results. A completed task has value. A half-finished task does not. When you develop the habit of finishing, you strengthen your ability to create results consistently. This habit trains your mind to push through distractions and discomfort. Over time, it becomes easier to complete tasks efficiently. This increases your reliability and builds a reputation for dependability, which supports long-term income growth. Lifelong earning power does not come from sporadic effort. It comes from the habits that guide your actions every day. When you choose habits that strengthen your mind, sharpen your skills, and improve your discipline, you build a foundation that supports growth for decades. Each habit is a step toward greater stability. Each small daily action becomes part of your financial strength. Habits shape your character, and character shapes your income. When you commit to developing habits that support your future, you begin to build earning power that lasts for a lifetime. Chapter 4. Find clear opportunities that produce income even while resting. Opportunities that continue to produce income while you rest begin with one essential mindset shift. You must learn to separate your time from your earnings. Many people live in a pattern where income stops the moment they pause. They work hour by hour, and they get paid only when they are actively doing something. This creates stress because their entire financial life depends on constant effort. But there is another way to build income, one that continues moving even when you step back for a moment. These opportunities exist everywhere, but most people miss them because they look for fast rewards instead of long-term value. To find opportunities that pay you even while you rest, you must learn to recognize systems, assets, and ideas that keep working without your constant attention. The search begins by identifying areas where value can multiply. When an action produces results long after it is completed, it becomes an asset. Assets are not limited to money. They can be skills, digital products, relationships, knowledge, or structures that keep producing results. A person who understands this begins to look at life differently. Instead of asking what they can earn today, they ask what they can build that will continue earning tomorrow. This perspective opens the mind to opportunities that most people overlook. When you shift from immediate reward to continuous return, you start moving toward income that grows on its own. Finding opportunities requires attention to patterns. Every industry has needs that repeat. Every marketplace has gaps that need solutions. When you identify something people keep asking for, you discover a chance to create long-lasting value. Opportunities often appear in simple problems that many people ignore. The question you must ask is what people need consistently. When you understand that, you can build something that meets that need over and over again, even when you are not actively involved. The greatest opportunities usually come from solving a problem once and letting that solution continue serving others. To discover these opportunities, you must observe your own life and the lives of others. Look at the tasks people repeat daily. Notice what frustrates them. Notice what saves them time or reduces stress. Opportunities grow out of understanding human behavior. When you study how people think, what they buy, and what they struggle with, you begin to see openings that can produce steady returns. These openings are not always glamorous. Many of the most profitable ideas begin as simple solutions. When you see a gap and fill it with something useful, you create ongoing value. You must also be willing to experiment. Opportunities rarely appear fully formed. They often reveal themselves through trial and adjustment. When you try small ideas, you begin learning which ones have the potential to grow. Some ideas will fade quickly, others will show signs of long-term strength. The important part is taking action and testing your insights. You cannot discover income that works while you rest if you never explore. Curiosity becomes one of your greatest tools. It helps you notice possibilities that others ignore. Opportunities that pay while you rest usually involve one of three things: automation, ownership, or duplication. Automation allows a process to run without you. Ownership gives you control over something that produces results. Duplication enables your work to reach more people without increasing your effort. When you combine these three elements, your income becomes scalable. Scalability is what creates financial freedom. When something grows without demanding more hours, it becomes a source of peace and stability. To find these opportunities, begin by studying the strengths you already have. Everyone has skills that can be turned into assets. If you understand a topic deeply, you can create something that teaches others. If you are good at organizing information, you can build tools that help people stay productive. If you have experience in a field, you can create resources that guide others through it. The key is recognizing the value inside your experiences. Opportunities do not always require something new. Sometimes they come from sharing what you already know in a form that others can use repeatedly. Another area to explore is digital platforms. The digital world gives you the ability to reach people without being physically present. When you create something online, it can continue working long after you have created it. This is why digital assets have become one of the strongest paths to income that grows on its own. A person can build an online product, a useful template, a tutorial, or a service that requires minimal ongoing effort. Once created, it becomes a tool that produces returns at any time of day. The internet removes the limits of location and time, making it easier than ever to create income that operates while you sleep. There are also opportunities in building networks. A strong network expands your earning potential because it exposes you to ideas you would never find on your own. People share knowledge, introduce opportunities, and help you see possibilities you might overlook. A network can also support systems that generate income without direct involvement. The right connections can lead to collaborations, partnerships, and investments that continue producing returns long after they are established. Networking is a habit that multiplies opportunity, not through luck but through genuine relationships. Finding opportunities also requires patience. Many people chase quick rewards and miss long-term gains. Opportunities that produce income while you rest usually demand time at the beginning. You must build them thoughtfully. You must prepare structures that last. Rushing often leads to weak foundations. But when you commit to building something long-lasting, you create stability that stays with you for years. Patience allows you to focus on quality. Quality is what helps your income survive changing trends and conditions. You must also learn to evaluate opportunities with clarity. Not every opportunity is worth your time. Some ideas look promising but drain energy, without producing returns. Others appear small yet grow into powerful sources of income. Your decision-making becomes critical. You must ask whether an opportunity aligns with your strengths, whether it can scale, and whether it produces value without constant input. This analysis keeps you from wasting effort and guides you toward ideas that truly matter. To find opportunities that work automatically, you must understand systems. A system is a series of steps that produce results consistently. When you combine several systems, you create a structure that generates income regardless of your daily fluctuations. Systems might involve technology, workflows, or routines that keep everything moving smoothly. When built correctly, these systems turn opportunities into long-term assets. They reduce your dependence on effort and increase your ability to grow. Opportunities that pay during rest also come from understanding trends. When you pay attention to how industries evolve, you begin seeing patterns before others do. Early awareness gives you an advantage. You notice what people will need soon, not just what they need now. This forward thinking allows you to position yourself before the wave arrives. Being early often leads to income that lasts longer and reaches more people. Trends are not about guesses, they are about observation. When you watch the world with curiosity, opportunities become easier to recognize. You also create opportunities by building things that last. Temporary ideas fade quickly, but long-lasting value keeps working. When you build with durability in mind, you create something that can outlive your daily effort. This may involve producing something high quality, refining your work until it is dependable, or designing something that remains useful over time. Longevity increases income because long-lasting value continues to serve others without requiring constant repairs or updates. Financial opportunities that pay while you rest often involve reinvesting your gains. When you take the returns from your early efforts and place them into assets that grow, you expand your income without adding more work. Reinvestment is a discipline. It requires restraint because it is tempting to spend immediate gains. But when you reinvest wisely, you multiply your earning potential. This compounding effect is one of the most powerful forces in building income that continues without your presence. The most important part of finding these opportunities is staying open-minded. Many ideas appear in unexpected forms. Some opportunities look small at first but become significant over time. Others arrive through conversations, learning, or personal reflection. When you stay open, you notice possibilities everywhere. You begin to see your daily experiences as potential sources of value. Your mind becomes trained to search for solutions instead of waiting for perfect conditions. Income that continues while you rest is not built through magic or luck. It is created through awareness, action, and patience. It is built by noticing what people need, creating something valuable, and allowing that value to work for you over time. It grows through systems, assets, automation, and reinvestment. It becomes stronger when you commit to learning, improving, and staying curious. When you develop this mindset, opportunities begin appearing naturally. You start building a life where effort multiplies instead of disappears. You gain stability, freedom, and confidence because your income is no longer tied to constant labor. It becomes something that supports you, even in moments of rest. Chapter 5. Build strong discipline that protects and expands money flow. Discipline is the force that stands between chaos and stability, between financial struggle and steady growth, between a life controlled by impulses and a life guided by purpose. When you build strong discipline, you create a structure that protects your money, your opportunities, and your long-term security. People often lose progress not because they lack intelligence or potential, but because they lack the discipline to follow through. Discipline is the quiet power that keeps your actions aligned with your goals, even when your emotions, your energy, or your circumstances try to pull you away. If you want your money flow to grow, you must build discipline that does not bend each time life becomes uncomfortable. Discipline becomes a shield and a tool at the same time. It protects what you earn, and it expands what you can create. The first step to building strong discipline is understanding why it matters. Without discipline, decisions become inconsistent. You may save money one day and overspend the next. You may work hard for a week and then lose momentum for a month. You may have good intentions but no structure to carry them out. This inconsistency weakens your financial growth because money responds to habits, not occasional effort. Discipline gives you control over these habits. When your habits become strong, your money flow becomes protected. You are no longer at the mercy of impulses. You become someone who acts with purpose even when distractions surround you. Discipline begins with clarity. You must know what you want financially and why you want it. When your goals are vague, your actions become unfocused. When your goals are clear, your discipline has direction. Clarity sharpens your decisions. It helps you understand what to say yes to and what to decline. You begin to recognize which behaviors support your money flow and which ones weaken it. This awareness gives you the strength to choose long-term benefit over temporary comfort. Strong discipline grows from understanding the future you are building. A major part of financial discipline is controlling your reactions. Many people lose money because they react impulsively to emotions. Stress leads to overbuying, boredom leads to distractions, and frustration leads to quitting. Discipline teaches you to pause before acting. It teaches you to make decisions with logic rather than emotion. This ability protects your money because your actions become measured rather than spontaneous. When you learn to control your reactions, you also learn to protect your progress. Discipline also requires learning to delay gratification. When you choose long-term gain over instant pleasure, you strengthen the foundation of your financial life. This might mean saving instead of spending, learning instead of relaxing, or working instead of postponing. Each choice builds mental strength. Over time, these choices accumulate into greater financial power. Delayed gratification is not about denying joy. It is about respecting your future more than your impulses. When you train yourself to wait, you build a level of discipline that automatically expands your money flow. Another important part of discipline is building routines that support your financial goals. Routines turn discipline into habit. When you create daily and weekly structures for work, learning, budgeting, and improvement, you no longer depend on motivation. You rely on consistency. Routines protect your progress because they keep you moving forward even on days when you feel tired or uninspired. They remove uncertainty and make productivity automatic. This pattern of steady effort becomes one of the strongest protectors of your money flow because it keeps your actions aligned with your goals. Financial discipline also means setting boundaries. Without boundaries, money leaks through countless small decisions. You must establish limits around your spending, your time, your energy, and your attention. These boundaries prevent distractions from weakening your financial growth. They protect your work hours from interruptions. They protect your mind from unnecessary stress. They protect your wallet from harmful habits. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. When you maintain them consistently, you create an environment where financial progress becomes easier to achieve. Discipline also plays a crucial role in managing risk. Not all opportunities are safe. Not all investments are wise. Not all partnerships are beneficial. Discipline helps you evaluate choices with caution rather than excitement. It helps you look past the surface and study the long-term impact. When you are disciplined, you do not jump into decisions that threaten your stability. You analyze, research, and think carefully. This protects your money from careless errors and emotional decisions. Strong discipline keeps you grounded when others are driven by greed or fear. A powerful part of discipline is learning to follow your plan even when progress feels slow. Patience is a form of discipline. Most financial growth happens quietly. You may not see immediate results, but steady action compounds. Many people quit because they mistake slow progress for failure. Discipline keeps you moving. It allows you to continue building even when the outcome is not visible yet. When you maintain discipline during slow seasons, you set yourself apart from those who only act when results are obvious. Eventually, your persistence becomes a financial advantage. Discipline also enhances your earning power by helping you stay committed to improvement. People who grow financially are people who constantly refine their skills. They learn new strategies, adapt to changes, and strengthen their abilities. Discipline keeps you engaged in learning. It prevents you from settling at your current level. When you commit to improving a little each day, your income has no choice but to grow. Improvement increases your value, and value increases your earning potential. This is how discipline expands money flow. Another aspect of discipline is practicing financial honesty with yourself. You must face your strengths and weaknesses without excuses. If you overspend, admit it. If you procrastinate, acknowledge it. If you avoid responsibility, confront it. Honest reflection gives you the chance to correct your behavior before it damages your financial future. Discipline thrives in an environment of truth. When you understand your patterns clearly, you can take the steps needed to break harmful habits. This honesty protects your money by exposing the areas that need strengthening. Strong discipline also involves choosing supportive influences. The people around you can either reinforce your habits or tempt you away from your goals. When you surround yourself with disciplined individuals, you naturally rise to their level. Their habits motivate you. Their mindset strengthens you. Their standards lift yours. On the other hand, negative influences weaken discipline. They encourage spending, distractions, and impulsive behavior. When you protect your environment, you protect your money flow. Discipline grows in the right company. A key part of discipline is preparing for challenges instead of reacting to them. Life will always present obstacles, unexpected expenses, changes in work, or personal stress. When you prepare mentally and financially, you handle these challenges with stability. An emergency fund, a backup plan, or a consistent routine helps you stay in control during uncertain times. Discipline protects your money by ensuring that short-term problems do not destroy long-term growth. Preparation is one of the smartest forms of discipline. Discipline also strengthens your ability to say no. Every invitation, purchase, or distraction that does not align with your goals is a threat to your money flow. Saying no is not about being rigid. It is about directing your energy toward what matters most. Each time you say no to something unnecessary, you say yes to your future. This skill keeps your financial path clear. It prevents your attention from scattering. It reinforces your commitment to growth. As your discipline grows, your relationship with money changes. You no longer see money as something that comes and goes randomly. You see it as something you influence through consistent choices. You begin to think long-term instead of relying on temporary impulses. You develop a sense of responsibility that strengthens every decision you make. This shift transforms your financial life. You stop reacting and start directing. You stop drifting and start leading. Discipline becomes the anchor that keeps your goals stable and your progress steady. Over time, strong discipline creates a level of stability that becomes one of your greatest advantages. You become someone who makes thoughtful decisions, manages money wisely, and protects opportunities carefully. You build a reputation for reliability and consistency. These qualities attract better jobs, stronger partnerships, and higher levels of trust. When discipline becomes part of your identity, your financial life begins to rise in ways that once felt out of reach. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about commitment. It is about choosing your future over your impulses. It is about doing what strengthens you rather than what weakens you. When you build strong discipline, you protect your money flow from slipping away, and you create a pathway for it to expand. Everything you want financially depends on your ability to stay focused, stay consistent, and stay committed to your long-term goals. Discipline builds that foundation. It is the force that turns potential into progress, progress into stability, and stability into lasting financial confidence. Chapter 6. Take bold steps that turn ideas into lifelong income. Ideas have the power to change your entire financial life, but only when they are acted on with courage. Many people carry useful ideas in their minds yet never see the results because they hesitate, overthink, or fear failure. Turning an idea into lifelong income requires bold steps that move you out of contemplation and into creation. Boldness is not recklessness. It is the willingness to act when the mind tries to hold you back. It is the choice to prioritize growth over comfort and progress over hesitation. Ideas turn into wealth only when they are combined with decisive action, steady work, and persistent follow-through. To build income that lasts for a lifetime, you must train yourself to move with intention rather than waiting for perfect timing. The first bold step is believing that your idea is worth pursuing. Many people dismiss their own ideas too quickly. They assume someone else is more qualified or that the idea is too simple to matter. But great income often grows from ideas that begin small. When you take your idea seriously, you give yourself permission to build something valuable. Belief is not about blind optimism. It is about recognizing that every idea has potential when nurtured with effort and discipline. This belief pushes you to explore possibilities instead of letting them fade. Once you believe in your idea, the next bold step is breaking the pattern of waiting. Waiting feels safe but leads nowhere. Many people delay action by convincing themselves that they need more information, more confidence, or more resources. But action produces clarity in a way that thinking never can. When you take the first step, you begin learning what works and what needs improvement. You begin discovering opportunities that were invisible before. You begin creating momentum. Bold steps do not require perfection. They require movement. Momentum is built by doing, not by waiting. Another powerful step is choosing to work through uncertainty rather than trying to eliminate it. Every new idea carries unknowns, and these unknowns can trigger hesitation. But uncertainty is not a warning to stop. It is a signal that you are growing. When you accept uncertainty, you gain the freedom to experiment, test, and adjust. This willingness to evolve strengthens your creativity and builds resilience. Lifelong income grows from the courage to step forward even when the full path is unclear. Those who succeed are not fearless. They simply refuse to let uncertainty freeze their progress. Turning an idea into income also requires taking practical steps that bring structure to your vision. A clear plan transforms your idea from an abstract thought into a real project. Planning helps you choose priorities, organize your resources, and establish timelines. But the plan must remain flexible so you can make improvements as you learn. The purpose of a plan is not to create rigid rules. It is to give your idea direction. When you organize your steps, you lower the mental resistance that stops many people from taking action. This clarity makes bold decisions easier to carry out. Another essential part of turning ideas into income is embracing the possibility of mistakes. Mistakes are part of the process, not a sign of failure. Every attempt teaches you something useful. Some lessons show what to repeat, and others show what to avoid. Mistakes increase your understanding of the market, your audience, your process, and your strengths. People who fear mistakes remain stuck in planning mode. People who accept mistakes grow faster because they gain insight that cannot be learned from theory. Boldness means stepping forward even when you might stumble, trusting that each experience strengthens your ability to build something lasting. You must also practice the bold step of sharing your idea with the world. Many ideas die in silence because their creators fear judgment or rejection. But income grows through connection. When you share your idea, you attract feedback, support, and opportunities. You find people who need what you offer. You discover collaborators who expand your possibilities. Sharing your idea publicly also builds accountability. It pushes you to follow through because others now expect progress from you. Speaking your idea out loud is a bold step that opens doors that remain closed when you keep everything hidden. Once your idea begins taking shape, the next bold step is optimizing your execution. Boldness is not about rushing. It is about refining with intention. Improving your work increases its value, and value creates income. This refinement may include learning new skills, upgrading your tools, improving your message, or strengthening your systems. Improvement makes your idea more competitive and increases its potential for long-term financial return. When you commit to mastery, you turn your idea into a reliable source of income, rather than a short-term project. Another bold step is transitioning from effort-based income to scalable income. Effort-based income requires your time, but scalable income allows your idea to grow beyond your hours. Scaling might involve creating digital products, automating processes, delegating tasks, or expanding your reach. When your idea can serve people without demanding constant involvement, it becomes an asset. Assets generate income in the background. Developing scalability requires courage because it involves letting go of familiar methods and experimenting with new structures. But the reward is freedom and longevity. Taking bold steps also means trusting your ability to recover from setbacks. No idea grows smoothly from start to finish. Challenges will appear, and some plans will not work as expected. But setbacks do not end your journey unless you stop responding. When you trust your resilience, you approach challenges with problem-solving rather than fear. This mindset keeps your idea alive and moving. Resilient action transforms obstacles into lessons that strengthen your foundation. The ability to continue despite difficulty is one of the most important forms of boldness you can develop. Another crucial bold step is reinvesting into your idea. Many people try to build lifelong income without putting anything back into their growth. Reinvestment might involve upgrading your equipment, purchasing education, hiring assistants, or improving your product. These investments accelerate your progress and expand your impact. When you reinvest, you show commitment to your idea. You treat it as something worthy of growth. This commitment attracts opportunities because people recognize seriousness. Reinvestment builds momentum, and momentum builds long-term income. Bold steps also include taking responsibility for every part of your progress. Ownership strengthens your decision-making. When you accept full responsibility, you gain control over your response outcomes. You stop blaming circumstances and begin shaping them. Responsibility builds confidence because you know that you are capable of adjusting, improving, and rising. This sense of ownership turns your idea into a long-term project rather than a temporary hobby. Responsibility creates stability, and stability supports lifelong income. Another powerful, bold step is learning to market your idea confidently. No matter how strong your idea is, income cannot grow if no one knows about it. Marketing is the bridge between your work and the people who need it. It requires courage because it exposes your creation to feedback and judgment. But it also exposes you to opportunities. When you market with honesty and clarity, you build trust. When you learn to communicate your value, people respond. Effective marketing amplifies your reach and expands your income beyond your immediate circle. Bold action also includes choosing consistency over intensity. Many people begin with energy, but lack discipline to continue. Consistency is what transforms an idea into a lifelong asset. Each action builds on the one before it. Small steps compound into big results. When you commit to steady progress, your idea grows in strength and stability. Consistency shows your seriousness, and seriousness attracts support. A bold person is not someone who acts once. It is someone who acts again and again until their vision becomes reality. One of the boldest steps you can take is positioning your idea to operate independently. Independence allows your creation to continue producing income without constant supervision. This might include writing guides, building systems, training others, or automating processes. Independence frees your time while allowing your idea to function at full strength. When your idea works for you instead of depending on you, it becomes a long-term source of income. This transformation is a result of deliberate action, not chance. Turning ideas into lifelong income also demands the boldness to continually evolve. Markets change, needs shift, and new opportunities appear. If you remain flexible and open-minded, your idea stays relevant. Evolution might involve updating your products, expanding your audience, or improving your strategy. When you evolve, you protect your income from fading. Adaptation is one of the strongest bold steps because it challenges your comfort zone and pushes you to grow with the world. Bold steps also involve knowing when to scale and when to simplify. Scaling grows your reach, while simplifying strengthens your focus. Both are necessary at different stages. Boldness means making the right choice based on clarity, not on impulse. When you scale too early, you weaken your foundation. When you simplify too late, you slow your progress. Strategic boldness helps you balance these decisions with wisdom. Another bold step is allowing your idea to become part of your identity. When you see your idea as an extension of yourself, you treat it with seriousness. You nurture it, protect it, and improve it. You show up for it even when conditions are difficult. When your idea becomes part of who you are, it becomes more than a project. It becomes a mission. This sense of purpose fuels your energy and strengthens your commitment, leading to long-term income. Finally, the boldest step is refusing to quit. Many ideas fail not because they lack potential, but because the creator stops too soon. Lifelong income is built through persistence. Persistence turns bold actions into long-lasting results. Each challenge you overcome becomes part of your strength. Each step forward brings your vision to life. When you refuse to quit, you guarantee progress. You guarantee learning. You guarantee momentum. And with momentum, your ideas gain the power to support you for a lifetime. Bold steps are the bridge between ideas and income. They transform possibilities into realities. They turn dreams into assets. When you choose boldness consistently, you build a life where your ideas support you, grow with you, and reward you for years to come. Chapter 7. Choose one path that gives you lasting financial stability. Lasting financial stability does not come from chasing every new opportunity that appears. It comes from choosing one clear path and committing to it with patience, discipline, and long-term focus. Many people exhaust themselves by switching directions constantly, hoping the next idea will be easier or the next opportunity will be faster. This constant jumping weakens progress because energy scatters instead of compounding. Stability requires depth, not constant movement. When you choose one path, you allow your skills, experience, and confidence to grow in a single direction. This creates strength that supports you year after year. Financial stability is a reward for those who commit instead of wander, who build instead of drift, and who stay focused even when distractions look tempting. Choosing one path requires understanding your strengths, interests, and long-term goals. You must look beyond temporary excitement and evaluate what aligns with the life you want to build. When you choose a path that fits your nature, your effort becomes more enjoyable and your consistency becomes easier to sustain. This choice should be based on clarity, not impulse. Clarity comes from reflection, studying possibilities, and understanding the type of work that feels meaningful to you. A financially stable life cannot be built on a path that you force yourself to follow. It must grow from a direction that feels natural enough to commit to for many years. When your choice aligns with your values and abilities, your motivation becomes stronger and more stable. A single path gives you the advantage of focus. Focus increases speed. Focus increases quality. Focus increases growth. When your energy is divided among several pursuits, none of them receive the strength they need to flourish. But when you direct all your effort toward one path, you build mastery much faster. Mastery is a powerful factor in financial stability because people are paid well for what they do exceptionally, not for what they do casually. When you stick to one path long enough, you separate yourself from those who quit too soon. This separation creates opportunities that would never appear for someone who keeps changing direction. Commitment to one path also helps you navigate challenges with greater strength. Every path has difficulties, and no line of work is free from effort. But when you constantly switch paths, every challenge forces you to start from zero. You never gain stability because you never push through the obstacles that create long-term advantage. Staying committed teaches you how to adapt, how to solve problems, and how to overcome resistance. These experiences make you stronger and more capable. This strength becomes a foundation for lasting income because you learn to handle any situation without losing direction. When you stay on one path long enough to face and overcome its difficulties, you develop the resilience that supports stable financial growth. A single path also builds reputation. Reputation is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and it only grows through consistency. When people see you dedicated to one craft, one industry, or one mission, they begin to trust your reliability. They recognize your dedication and take your work seriously. This trust brings clients, referrals, partnerships, and opportunities that expand your financial stability. Reputation cannot be built when you hop from one idea to another. It requires time, consistency, and visible dedication. When your name becomes associated with quality in a specific area, your income becomes more secure because your identity holds value. Choosing one path does not mean closing yourself off to learning. It means deepening your understanding of one domain instead of spreading yourself thin across many. The deeper your knowledge, the more valuable your contribution becomes. When you commit to learning everything about your chosen field, you gain insights that others miss. You begin to predict trends, understand patterns, and spot opportunities long before the average person notices them. This advantage allows you to make better decisions, innovate more effectively, and respond to changes with confidence. Lifelong stability comes from continuous growth within the same direction, not from abandoning a path each time progress feels slow. A chosen path must be supported by strong habits. When you know the direction of your life, your daily actions become easier to organize. You wake up with purpose. You evaluate your time with intention. You eliminate distractions that do not support your long-term mission. This creates a level of discipline that strengthens your financial life. Discipline becomes easier when your path is clear, because clarity reduces confusion, and confusion drains energy. The more committed you are to a single direction, the more naturally discipline develops. This discipline protects your progress and keeps your income moving forward, even in difficult times. Stability also grows when you build systems within your chosen path. Systems create consistency. They help you complete tasks efficiently, manage your time wisely, and maintain steady progress. When you create systems around your work, you reduce emotional swings. You no longer rely on inspiration to make progress. You rely on structure. Structure produces results, even on days when motivation is low. Over time, these systems become assets that support your financial stability. They give you a rhythm that keeps your work strong and your income steady. Choosing one path also gives you the opportunity to build long-term relationships. Relationships are one of the greatest sources of financial strength. When you commit to a specific field, you begin meeting people who share your interests and values. These relationships bring collaboration, mentorship, and support. People trust those who stay consistent. Trust opens doors that lead to higher income. When your path is clear, you can build meaningful professional relationships that last for decades. These relationships create stability because they support your growth and expand your opportunities. Another benefit of choosing one path is the ability to create long-term plans. You can set 5-year goals, 10-year goals, and 20-year goals because your direction is stable. Long-term planning gives your life structure and reduces anxiety about the future. When you know where you are going, you do not feel lost. You do not panic during temporary setbacks. You remain confident because your direction is grounded. Financial stability requires long-term thinking, and long-term thinking requires a chosen path. Without a clear path, planning becomes impossible because your foundation is always shifting. A chosen path also allows you to build assets that support your income. These assets might include knowledge, digital products, investments, tools, or systems that become more valuable over time. Assets grow stronger the longer you stay in a field because you understand your audience, refine your craft, and improve your ability to create value. Switching paths constantly prevents asset building. But when you stay committed, you begin creating things that continue supporting you financially for years. This is how stability grows from dedication. One path also allows your confidence to grow steadily. Confidence comes from experience, skill, and familiarity. When you stay with one direction long enough, you begin to feel at home in your field. You develop certainty in your abilities. This certainty shows in your work, your communication, and your decisions. Confidence attracts opportunities. Confidence increases your effectiveness. Confidence helps you charge your worth. People trust those who carry themselves with clarity. A stable path supports this kind of confidence naturally. Choosing a path does not mean ignoring change. It means adapting within the same direction instead of abandoning it. When you stay committed, you can evolve your methods, expand your skill set, and adjust your approach without losing your overall direction. This balance between consistency and adaptability creates long-term strength. You grow with your field instead of running from it. People who remain committed, yet adaptable, become leaders in their industry. Leaders enjoy stability because they understand their path deeply. A single path also helps you conserve energy. Constantly switching directions wastes mental, emotional, and financial resources. It forces you to start from the beginning repeatedly. But staying on one path allows your energy to build. Each day builds on the last. Every skill strengthens the next. Every experience increases your power. This compounding effect is one of the greatest advantages of commitment. Over time, small efforts accumulate into major strengths, and these strengths create stability that others envy. Financial stability also grows from consistency in your income streams. When you commit to one path, you can slowly build multiple sources of income within the same field. This kind of diversification strengthens your stability even more. Instead of scattering across different industries, you diversify within your expertise. This approach strengthens your reputation and your income at the same time. Choosing one path is ultimately an act of maturity. It shows that you value long-term gain over short-term excitement. It shows that you understand the importance of commitment. It shows that you are willing to build something solid instead of chasing temporary thrills. When you choose your path and follow it with determination, you begin creating financial stability that becomes part of your identity. Your direction becomes your foundation. Your foundation becomes your security, and your security becomes the strength that carries you through every stage of life. Chapter 8. Grow income streams that support you through every season. Income that supports you through every season comes from building streams that do not depend on a single source, a single mood, or a single moment in the economy. It grows from the decision to create several forms of value that work together to give you stability, no matter what life brings. One stream may be strong in one period, while another becomes stronger in another phase. This balance protects your financial life and gives you the confidence to face changes without fear. Many people struggle because all their income depends on one employer, one business, or one fragile system. When that system shifts, their entire foundation shakes. But when you build multiple streams within your abilities, your income becomes steady, flexible, and resilient. You gain peace because you no longer rely on a single outcome. You rely on your creativity, your discipline, and your willingness to grow. Growing income streams begins with understanding the strengths you already possess. Every person has skills, experiences, and interests that can be expanded into different channels of income. These strengths do not need to be dramatic. Even simple abilities can be shaped into valuable offerings when used consistently. When you take inventory of what you know, what you've learned, and what you can teach, you begin recognizing possibilities that were not obvious before. Opportunities rarely come from what you do not have. They come from what you have been ignoring. When you look inward, you discover the seeds that can grow into strong income streams. You also need to study your current lifestyle to see where income can be expanded without overwhelming your time and energy. Growing streams should not feel like trying to juggle too many responsibilities. They should flow naturally from your main path. When each stream complements the other, your growth feels controlled rather than chaotic. This balance helps you stay consistent. You might begin with one strong stream, then build a smaller one that fits alongside it, and then add another as your confidence grows. Each new stream builds on the lessons learned from the previous ones. This gradual approach reduces burnout and increases long-term success. A powerful strategy is recognizing the difference between income you earn through effort and income you earn through systems. Effort-based income requires your active work. System-based income continues even when you step away. A resilient financial life includes both. Effort-based income keeps you growing through your skills. System-based income supports you when you need rest or when life becomes unpredictable. When these two forms work together, you create security that does not disappear with temporary challenges. The goal is to slowly shift more of your income towards system-based streams so your financial life becomes less dependent on constant work. One of the most important steps is choosing streams that fit your strengths rather than forcing yourself into trends that do not align with your nature. Trends come and go. Strengths expand and evolve. When you choose streams that match your abilities, the learning curve becomes manageable. You enjoy the process more, and your progress becomes smoother. This alignment helps you sustain your efforts long enough for income to grow. You build each stream with confidence instead of constant stress. Alignment also improves quality, and quality creates demand. When your work feels natural to you, others feel the value behind it. Growing multiple income streams also requires you to understand the power of small beginnings. Many people never start because they want something big immediately. They forget that every large success begins as a small, simple effort. When you allow yourself to start small, you remove pressure, you gain clarity, you learn faster. Each small stream has the potential to grow into something meaningful when nurtured consistently. Small streams also reduce risk. Instead of putting everything into one uncertain plan, you experiment while maintaining your stability. Over time, These small streams multiply and evolve into strong pillars of financial support. You must also develop the habit of learning continuously. New income streams are often born from new knowledge. When you learn, you discover tools, strategies, and opportunities that others overlook. Learning expands your abilities and keeps you adaptable in changing conditions. The world shifts quickly, and those who continue learning can adjust without fear. Each piece of knowledge can become a new avenue for income. Learning is not only intellectual, it is practical. It gives you real tools you can apply immediately. Continuous learning helps your income streams develop strength that lasts in any season. Another key part of growing income streams is understanding your audience. Every stream exists to serve someone, whether through a product, a skill, a service, or knowledge. When you understand what people need and how they think, your ability to create value increases naturally. Income grows when you solve problems consistently. The more clearly you understand the people you serve, the easier it becomes to create offerings that matter to them. Strong income streams are built on connection. When you understand your audience, your work gains purpose and direction. A stable set of income streams also requires good time management. You must learn to prioritize tasks that strengthen your streams rather than waste your hours on activities that do not contribute to growth. Time management is not about filling every hour with work. It is about allocating energy to the actions that matter most. When your time is used with intention, you make progress even with limited hours. Good time management also prevents burnout. It helps you balance your streams without losing your sense of well-being. A balanced approach keeps your creativity alive and your productivity consistent. Growing income streams also means being willing to improve your work continuously. Improvement increases the value of what you offer. People are attracted to growth, quality, and reliability. When you refine your work regularly, you create streams that remain relevant over time. Improvement may involve updating your skills, enhancing your products, adjusting your marketing, or strengthening your communication. These adjustments keep your income streams competitive in every season. Improvement is not about perfection, it is about making your work more effective step by step. This gradual refinement increases the durability of your streams. Another crucial part of growing multiple streams is being patient with results. Some streams grow quickly, while others take time to establish. Patience keeps you from abandoning promising paths too soon. When you give your streams enough time to develop, you allow compounding to work in your favor. Many people quit before results appear, but those who stay patient often build income streams that surprise them with their long-term growth. Patience creates resilience, and resilience creates streams that survive changing seasons. A key factor in building streams that last is recognizing when to automate tasks. Automation allows your streams to operate with less effort from you. It may involve using tools, templates, systems, or repeated workflows. Automation helps you scale your streams without adding more hours of work. It also increases reliability. When tasks become automated, you reduce the chance of mistakes and maintain consistent output. Automation strengthens every stream because it frees your time to grow new opportunities while existing ones continue working. Developing financial stability also requires learning how to delegate when necessary. You cannot sustain multiple streams alone forever. Delegation is a form of growth. It allows you to focus on high-value tasks while others handle routine responsibilities. Delegation expands the reach of your income streams and increases the efficiency of your work. Many people resist delegation because they fear losing control. But delegation, when done with care, increases your ability to build stronger streams with less stress. Growing income streams also involves tracking your progress. You must understand which streams are growing, which ones need adjustment, and which ones require more attention. Without tracking, you may continue investing time into streams that do not support your goals. Tracking gives you clarity. It helps you make strategic decisions that strengthen your overall financial stability. When you review your progress regularly, you ensure that your streams remain healthy and aligned with your long-term vision. Your mindset also plays a major role. You must adopt a mindset that welcomes new opportunities while staying committed to your chosen path. A flexible mindset helps you adapt when one stream slows down. It helps you recognize when to shift strategies and when to stay patient. A stable financial life grows when your mind remains calm, thoughtful, and open. This mental strength allows you to handle changes without fear. It helps you stay focused on solutions instead of problems. Growing income streams is not about chasing every idea. It is about choosing meaningful streams that work together to support your life. Each stream adds a layer of protection. Each stream reduces financial pressure. Each stream expands your future. When your streams grow consistently, you gain freedom. Freedom to rest, freedom to take risks, and freedom to shape your life without fear of collapse. These streams become a shield during difficult times and a bridge to opportunities during good times. Income that supports you through every season is built through intention, patience, and steady growth. It becomes part of your identity. It reflects your discipline, your creativity, and your willingness to build a secure future. When you develop multiple streams with care, you create a financial life that feels balanced and strong. You create options instead of limitations. You create stability instead of uncertainty. This stability follows you through every stage of your life and becomes one of your greatest sources of confidence. Chapter 9. Invest time wisely to build income that never fades. Time is the one resource that cannot be replaced, borrowed, or recovered once it is spent, and this makes it the most valuable investment you will ever manage. Money grows when time is used with intention, and it fades when time is wasted on actions that produce nothing. Building income that never fades begins with the decision to treat time as an asset rather than something to carelessly spend. Every hour contains the possibility of building skills, creating value, strengthening your systems, or refining your ideas. When you use time with clarity, you begin shaping a financial future that grows stronger year after year. When you use time without direction, you limit your progress and weaken your potential. The difference between someone who maintains lasting income and someone who struggles comes down to how each person chooses to invest their hours. Investing time wisely begins with understanding the true cost of distraction. Distraction steals progress in small pieces. Each time you lose focus, you lose momentum. Each time you give your time to something that does not serve your future, you delay your growth. Most people underestimate how much time they lose to shallow habits, unfocused routines, and unnecessary interruptions. When you take an honest look at how your hours are spent, you begin seeing the areas where time escapes without producing anything meaningful. This awareness is the first step in taking control of your time. When you recognize what drains your hours without adding value, you can begin choosing habits that strengthen your future rather than weaken it. The next step is defining the activities that actually build your income. Not all actions are equal. Some tasks strengthen your earning power, while others simply fill your day. You must identify which activities lead to long-term growth and which are merely distractions disguised as productivity. High-value activities include improving your skills, building assets, creating systems, strengthening relationships, and learning strategies that expand your opportunities. These actions contribute directly to income that lasts. When you prioritize these activities, your time becomes a tool for building strength instead of something that slips away without purpose. Investing time wisely also requires developing the habit of deep focus. Deep focus allows you to enter a state where your mind becomes fully engaged in meaningful work. In this state, you produce higher quality results, learn faster, and complete tasks more efficiently. Deep focus does not happen accidentally. It requires eliminating interruptions, organizing your environment, and training your mind to stay present. When you develop this habit, you begin creating work that has lasting value. This level of focus builds income because it increases the quality of everything you create. High-quality work attracts opportunities, clients, and growth, while shallow work rarely leads to anything substantial. Another powerful way to invest your time is dedicating consistent hours to improving your skills. Skills are one of the strongest foundations for income that lasts because they evolve with you. When you invest time in developing skills, you make yourself more valuable in any environment. Skilled people adapt easily, grow steadily, and maintain income even during uncertain times. Skill development requires patience, repetition, and consistent practice. Even small investments of time add up when repeated every day. Over the course of months and years, these small investments transform your earning potential. A person who devotes daily time to improvement becomes someone who cannot be easily replaced, and this security results in income that remains strong. Time must also be invested in building systems that support your goals. Systems allow your work to continue even when you are not actively focused on it. They save time, reduce effort, and increase consistency. When you spend time building systems, whether they are organizational routines, automated processes, or financial structures, you create a foundation that protects your income. Systems turn repeated tasks into efficient workflows, freeing your mind to focus on higher-level actions. This investment of time pays back long into the future because it creates stability and reduces stress. People who build systems gain more space to think, create, and pursue new opportunities, allowing their income to grow rather than stagnate. Another critical use of time is studying the opportunities available in your field. Markets change, industries evolve, and new possibilities appear regularly. When you invest time in learning about these shifts, you remain prepared for growth. Studying does not mean passively gathering information. It means understanding how changes affect your future and identifying actions that position you for advantage. Many people fall behind because they stop learning as soon as they achieve short-term success. But income that never fades belongs to those who remain students throughout their lives. Learning keeps you sharp, flexible, and aware of new paths that can expand your financial strength. Investing time wisely also involves surrounding yourself with people who support your growth. The people around you influence your mindset, your habits, and your ambitions. When you invest time in relationships that inspire you, challenge you, and strengthen your vision, you fuel your progress. These relationships provide wisdom, connections, and encouragement. They open doors you may not have discovered alone. Conversely, investing time in negative or stagnant relationships weakens your momentum. Time spent with people who discourage ambition drains your energy and delays your growth. Your circle is part of your financial foundation, and investing in the right people is one of the wisest decisions you can make. Another valuable use of time is reflection. Reflection allows you to examine your results, identify mistakes, and make adjustments. Without reflection, you may continue repeating habits that do not help you. Reflection gives you the clarity to improve your decisions and refine your approach. Even a few minutes of reflection can help you understand where your time was well spent and where it was wasted. This awareness improves your time investment every day. Through consistent reflection, you become more intentional, more efficient, and more aligned with your long-term goals. You must also invest time in rest. Many people believe that constant work leads to lasting income, but without rest, productivity weakens and creativity fades. Rest restores energy, strengthens focus, and protects your mental health. When you rest wisely, you return to your work with clarity and strength. Rest is not laziness, it is a strategic investment. It allows your mind to reset and your body to recover. Income that never fades cannot be built on exhaustion. It is built on balance. Wisely invested rest creates better work, clearer thinking, and stronger results. Another form of time investment involves building long-term assets. These assets might include digital products, content libraries, investments, or business systems. Assets require time upfront, but continue providing value for years. When you invest your time into creating assets instead of relying solely on tasks that pay immediately, you build income that grows even when you are not working. This shift from short-term tasks to long-term creation is one of the most important steps in building income that endures across seasons of life. You must also invest time in planning. Planning helps you avoid reactive decisions and maintain a steady pace. When you plan, you prioritize what matters and remove unnecessary tasks that drain hours without contributing to your goals. Planning gives your time direction. Without direction, even long hours of work lead to little progress. A clear plan transforms your time from scattered effort into structured growth. This planning becomes part of a cycle that keeps your income stable. Plan, act, review, adjust, and repeat. Another essential time investment is working on your mindset. The way you think determines how you act, and your actions shape your financial future. When you invest time into strengthening your mindset through reading, reflection, discipline, and growth, you build an internal foundation that supports consistent progress. A strong mindset allows you to handle pressure, overcome setbacks, and stay motivated through challenges. This inner strength protects your income because it keeps you moving even when conditions are difficult. Time should also be invested in identifying what no longer serves your goals. Eliminating outdated habits, unnecessary commitments, and unproductive routines frees up time for what matters. This is one of the most overlooked parts of time investment. You cannot grow if you carry unnecessary weight. Removing low-value activities creates space for high-value work. This pruning process strengthens your effectiveness and helps your income grow in a sustainable way. Another important way to invest your time is by building discipline. Discipline multiplies the value of your time because it ensures you stay consistent. When discipline grows, you can rely on your habits rather than your mood. You show up even when you feel tired. You work on your goals even when distractions tempt you. Discipline turns daily effort into long-term success. People with discipline create income streams that survive changes, challenges, and setbacks. Discipline protects your future by ensuring your time is always used with intention. Lastly, investing time wisely means committing to a long-term vision rather than chasing quick results. Many people sacrifice meaningful progress for temporary comfort. They want income today, even if it weakens their potential tomorrow. But income that never fades grows from long-term thinking. When you invest time into building a strong foundation, you create stability that lasts through every stage of life. Long-term investment of time leads to skills that stay with you, assets that pay you, systems that support you, and a mindset that guides you forward. When you invest your time with intention, you shape a financial life built on strength rather than luck. Each hour becomes a building block. Each decision becomes part of your foundation, and each day becomes an opportunity to grow your income in ways that support you for a lifetime. Chapter 10. Master one proven strategy that produces income forever. Mastering one proven strategy that produces income forever begins with the realization that long-term success is not built on luck, random attempts, or constant experimentation. It is built on mastering one approach deeply enough that it becomes part of your identity and skill set. When you fully understand a strategy, you no longer depend on guesswork or unpredictable outcomes. You develop an inner confidence that your actions will produce results again and again, regardless of changes in the environment. Mastery gives you stability. Mastery gives you clarity. Mastery gives you control. And when you combine mastery with a strategy that has already been tested, refined, and proven to generate income, you build a financial foundation that can support you for a lifetime. The first step toward mastering a strategy is choosing one that aligns with your strengths, interests, and long-term vision. Many people become overwhelmed because they try too many strategies at once. They chase trends, imitate others, or jump into ideas without thinking about whether the strategy suits their nature. But mastery requires focus. You cannot master a strategy you are only half committed to. When you choose a strategy that fits your personality and your strengths, you give yourself the ability to stay consistent. Consistency is the heart of mastery. It allows you to improve steadily rather than restart repeatedly. The right strategy will energize you instead of exhausting you, and this energy fuels long-term success. Once you select a strategy, the next step is to study it deeply. You must understand not just what to do, but why it works. When you grasp the reasons behind each step, you gain the ability to adjust the strategy when circumstances change. You stop relying on rigid instructions and start thinking like a strategist. This understanding protects your income because it allows you to adapt without abandoning the method. Deep study also reveals patterns, common mistakes, and hidden opportunities. It helps you anticipate challenges and handle them with confidence. The more you learn, the stronger your results become, and the closer you move toward mastery. Mastery also requires making mistakes and learning from them. You cannot expect perfection on the first attempt, and you will not master any strategy by avoiding discomfort. Mistakes are a natural part of the process because they highlight areas that need improvement. Each mistake teaches you something that theory cannot. When you treat mistakes as lessons instead of setbacks, you strengthen your resilience and sharpen your skills. Over time, the strategy becomes clearer, smoother, and more effective. People who fear mistakes stay stuck at the surface level. People who learn from mistakes rise into mastery. This difference determines whether your income fades or becomes permanent. To master a proven strategy, you must practice it repeatedly. Repetition builds instinct, and instinct builds speed and accuracy. When you repeat the steps consistently, they become second nature. You no longer waste energy overthinking every decision. You operate with a calm confidence that comes only from experience. This confidence increases your efficiency and reduces stress. Repetition also reveals subtle improvements you can make. You begin noticing details others ignore. You refine your approach, eliminate unnecessary actions, and strengthen the core of the strategy. Through repetition, you transform a simple method into a powerful tool that consistently produces income. Another key element of mastery is tracking your results. You must measure your progress to understand what is working and what needs adjustment. Tracking gives you clarity that guessing cannot provide. It helps you analyze patterns and refine your approach logically. When you track your results, you no longer rely on emotion or assumptions. You rely on evidence. Evidence-based adjustments are the foundation of mastery. They separate effective strategies from weak ones and ensure your efforts lead to consistent growth. Over time, tracking creates a roadmap that becomes more precise with every iteration. This roadmap guides you through challenges and helps maintain your financial progress. Mastering a strategy also requires discipline. Discipline keeps you committed through slow periods, busy seasons, and moments of doubt. There will be times when progress feels invisible, when effort feels heavy, and when the future feels uncertain. But mastery demands that you stay on the path even when emotions fluctuate. Discipline ensures that your actions remain consistent, which allows your results to compound, while others give up after a few attempts. Disciplined individuals continue growing. This perseverance leads to breakthroughs that turn steady progress into lasting income. Discipline transforms a strategy from something you try into something you own. Another important aspect of mastery is understanding how to improve the efficiency of your strategy over time. Once you gain confidence in the fundamental steps, you can begin optimizing your process. Optimization might involve streamlining your workflow, reducing unnecessary tasks, or automating certain actions. This creates more time for higher-level decisions and strategic growth. Optimization also helps you handle larger opportunities with less stress. When your strategy becomes efficient, your income scales more easily. You begin earning more while exerting less effort, which is one of the clearest indicators of true mastery. Mastery also requires emotional control. When you deeply understand a strategy, you must resist the temptation to abandon it when progress feels slow or when distractions appear. Many people sabotage their own success because they expect instant results. But income that lasts forever grows from patience. Emotional control allows you to think long-term instead of reacting impulsively. It helps you avoid unnecessary risks and hasty decisions. When your emotions are steady, your strategy remains steady. This stability strengthens your financial foundation and ensures that your income continues rather than collapsing under pressure. Another powerful part of mastering a strategy is seeking guidance from people who have already succeeded with it. Learning from experienced individuals accelerates your progress because you benefit from their insights and avoid their mistakes. Mentors, books, courses, and communities provide a wealth of knowledge that shortens your learning curve. When you combine your own effort with the wisdom of others, your mastery grows faster and stronger. You begin seeing possibilities that were not visible before. Guidance also keeps you grounded, motivated, and aligned with your goals. When you learn from those who have succeeded, you gain a clear understanding of what long-term success requires. You must also learn to adapt your strategy as your goals grow. Mastery is not stagnation, it is a process of continuous refinement. A strategy that works today may need adjustments tomorrow. The world changes, markets evolve, and new tools appear. When you stay flexible while maintaining your core strategy, you protect your income from becoming outdated. Adaptation allows you to stay relevant and competitive. This ongoing improvement transforms your strategy into a living system that evolves with you. Adaptation keeps your income strong, regardless of shifting conditions. Mastery also involves recognizing the limits of your time and energy. As you grow, you will reach a point where you cannot do everything alone. This is when delegation and automation become essential. Delegation allows you to focus on high-value tasks while others handle routine work. Automation allows your strategy to run smoothly, even when you are not physically working. These tools free your time and multiply your results. A proven strategy becomes even more powerful when supported by systems that operate independently. This is how income becomes self-sustaining. The final stage of mastery is transforming your strategy into an asset that continues working for you long-term. An asset is something that retains value and generates returns over time. When your strategy becomes an asset, it no longer relies entirely on your daily effort. You may convert your knowledge into training, tools, or products. You may build a system that continues operating even when you step away. You may delegate key tasks and focus on expanding the strategy further. When your strategy becomes an asset, your income gains a level of independence. This independence is what creates income that lasts forever. Mastering one proven strategy gives you a foundation that does not break under pressure. It gives you a skill set that no one can take from you. It provides financial confidence that goes beyond temporary success. When you master your strategy, you carry the ability to rebuild your income anywhere, at any time, regardless of external circumstances. This mastery becomes a lifelong companion. It supports your goals, protects your stability, and expands your opportunities. Your strategy becomes your strength. Your strength becomes your security. And your security becomes the reason your income lasts, not just for today, but for every season of your life.